with doing any job in the film industry. You want to go with what's simple. It's always going to be a balance between the absolute best and then what's simple. But you're going to probably learn to do things in a simple way so that things don't get messed up and it can be done faster, because also speed is important in the film industry. And you're going to learn to sell your idea on what simple is to people around you, because part of it is everybody in the film industry. Look, there's like 75 people there on set. And everybody's working for somebody. Like, I'm working for somebody, the director's working for somebody, the executive producer is working for somebody. It's just all a big business. So you've got all of these people that have ideas and want to do this and want to do that. Can we fit that in there? And, oh, it'll only take a second. We just need this. But it wasn't budgeted and it wasn't planned for, and we were out of time and we got behind here. And so you're going to be finding that you're always thinking in, first of all, you need to relax. You need to relax, and you need to have experience so that you see things in a very clear way, so that you can then explain, hey, you know what the purpose is. See, that's get it factor. You know what they're trying to accomplish, and you're able to be in on that group and explain things in the way that they want, the way that everybody is wanting. So you have to kind of understand production. See, the big mistake that people make, that people learn from being with me, is that it's very easy to, and you'll even find people in the film industry, probably the majority of professionals that are successful too, by the way, some of them, they're thinking in terms of their own department and their own needs only. And that's just human nature, and that's easy to do. However, if you want to get to the high levels, like where I'm at, doing commercials, you have to train yourself to think in a way of like, this is the production, what's best for the production, and what's best for the director, the company, the client, the whole process that this film has to go through to end up where it needs to be. Everything is thought about and spoken in that way. And then what happens, you guys, is people go, oh my God, I love her. She's so great. And they don't think about it any more than that. It's just like, she's so great. She gets it. And that's it. So that's what you will learn from me. And that will take you to the top. No kidding, man. It will take you to the top. Just the little degree shifts of way that we think. That's all that this is. It's a conversation for excellence applied to the film industry. So, whether you're just starting, people that have been production assistants in the business, that want to be directors, that want to be writers, that want to be actors, and they're not able to get into that craft. So we have people here like that, people that are actors that just have been working their frickin' ass off, trying to get out there, auditioning, doing reels, taking classes, love it, but not getting the chance to actually make any money with it. And that's the goal. And you could keep going for years and years with the classes and the showcases and the workshops and getting out there and meeting the casting directors, but it's all moving too slow. And you go through an agent, and then you go through another agent, and you get excited, and then nothing happens. So I want to stop that process, if I can, just by giving you some information, which is, and it's still like, it's not like it's going to be easy now. It's just going to get you results, a lot more results than what you have right now. But none of it is going to be easy. And we don't have to even expect it to be easy, and it's not hard either. It's just what it takes, basically. What it takes to get a whole bunch of people knowing you and calling you and thinking that you're good. Now, this can only happen on professional sets. You can only get good on professional sets consistently. So that means every week. Now, I know if you're like, but I'm an actor, how am I going to get on sets every week? Who are your buyers, actually? Now, I'm talking to actors, but it's the same kind of conversation for whatever you want to do. Think of, if you're a camera person, who's your buyer? Meaning, who's going to hire you and who's going to refer you? Who's your buyer? Who's going to hire you? If you're a camera operator, do you know who that is? If you're an editor, who's your buyer? If you're a sound mixer, it's different for every single department. If you're a makeup artist, who is the person that hires you? So for actors, your buyers, who is actually making that decision whether you get hired? Not the casting director, is it? The casting director just gets you in the room. But who your buyer is producers, directors, executives, anybody that's saying, well, they'll probably make it collectively too. But anybody that's in that room discussing, okay, that person had the look, that person had the energy, let's go with that person. So it's not the casting director. Now the casting director and the agent is still very important because they allow you to get in that room. So they're still important, but they're not your buyer. Who are you on set with all the time? If you're on set, producers and directors and executives, yeah, they're all on set. The casting directors, they're not on set. The agents, they could be on set, but they're typically not on set. So your buyers are on set. That means you want to personally know these people. Just make friends with them. They're going to know you're an actor. They can just tell because actors have energy beaming out of their eyes. You know what I'm talking about? You actors, you guys know. It's like this energy, this aliveness, this awakeness that beams out of their eyes. It's really cool. So people can tell. So you make friends with these people. Now that doesn't mean they're going to go, oh, you're an actor, I could use you tomorrow. They got to have the right role for you. But when they know you're an actor and you're right there on set, then what can happen? They can put you in. That happens. They can get you in an audition. You give the producer a ride home. You give the director a ride to the airport. You talk the whole time. So just make your day job, make your survival job being on the film set. And then take it up a notch. Boom. You know how to take it up a notch? We get on set through production assistant initially, just for a little while. And then, boom, you get in another department. That department can be art department. That department could be camera. It could be sound. It could be costume design. It could be casting. But you take it up a notch. You want to know why? Because that's how you're going to make the money. That's how you're going to have the great life. Because all of us, the whole point, the reason why we're here is we want to have a great life in the professional film industry. Has to be professional because that's how you make the money. You're not going to make any money if you stay in zero budget films with filmmakers that are trying to get in the film industry. And a lot of people have a lot of that kind of work. And you can get that kind of work. And you might be like, I'm comfortable with that kind of work. I'm not comfortable with the professional work yet, but you will be. Because that's how you're going to have the career. It has to be all professional. That's why you want to get on sets and get these good jobs so that you can make some decent money so you have a great life. So you can be a camera person, you can be an actor. Now, if you're an actor and you don't like the idea of doing another job on set, then this is not for you. Because that's how I can help you. If you don't want to do another job on set, then you have to do it the traditional way, which is you can only audition. But you're only going to be able to get access to auditions that are on Actors Access and Backstage, which is the web series and the student films, not the good professional stuff like Marvel films, Netflix, all that stuff. I'll talk louder now. All that stuff is controlled by the producers, the directors, the casting directors, the agents through the breakdowns. Now I'm talking about the United States with the breakdowns. We got people in London, Canada. There's all similar situations in Canada, Australia, because there's got to be a system there because it's a business. It's got to be efficient. So just remember this. All the good stuff, you got to be inside to get access to it. And the reason why you might have been struggling is because all you have is auditions, which are all the student films, which is not the good stuff. And you can get stuck in that world for 20 years. And that's why most of people's friends are people that are barely making any money as an actor. Okay, I spent a lot of time on actors. But you understand this already halfway, or probably 100% of what I'm saying, if you've been living it. All right, now let's look at some of these other ones, because we got other people here too. Okay, for editors. I knew we'd have some editors here. So yes, directors and producers are making the decision on who they want to edit their stuff. Exactly. So where do you meet those guys? Do you meet them in post-production? That's where you're working with them, but do you meet them there? How? Think of it this, everybody. How the way you make relationships, the way you get work is through the little conversations about coffee, or about restaurants, or about music. That's how you're getting your work, you guys. It's not talking about, hey, you should see my stuff I've edited together. And they're like, do we have to? No, they will eventually want that. But first, the relationship has to be there. So we think, job, 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 job. I want the job. I want the job. Just give me the job. Just give me a shot. But think about what has to happen before the job is relationships. And it has to be kind of a fun, light, cozy relationship. And these people have to have a certain impression of you before you get that job. And the job, like one day on set, big deal. We're talking like you are in with them. You're in their phone. You're like number 4 or 5 on their phone, on their list for your job, for your position. So getting into that situation is how you have a career. Listen to me now. This is the biggest opportunity. Okay. This is why it is the best time in world history, where you guys are sitting right now, and the industry where it is right now, and the situation right now. It is the best time I have ever seen for breaking into the professional film industry. Everybody in the whole world has paused, and we're all waiting to start up again so that we can now legally start shooting. In Los Angeles on Tuesday, they're going to publish the specs for how we can start shooting in Los Angeles. It's going to be freaking crazy. And this is going to be the same in all these cities all over the world, because people are not going to travel to shoot. They're going to have to shoot and want to shoot. They don't want to get on planes. They're going to shoot right where they're at. They're going to be shooting in Pittsburgh. They're going to be shooting in Atlanta. They're going to be they already are shooting in Atlanta. They're going to be shooting in Los Angeles. They'll be shooting in Seattle. They'll be shooting in Toronto, and Vancouver, and London, and Sydney. Boom, right where they're at. All of a sudden, we're going to start shoots. I already had a shoot this week, and it was different, and it was slower pace, and it was outside, and it was all super meticulously planned out. But those procedures are going to change too as we move forward. But this is the best time, because here's what happens. You might be number 30 on somebody's list, and then everybody starts shooting at the same time. Boom. They call me. They call the next person. They call number 3. They call number 4. They call number 10. They call number 15. Nobody's available. Everybody's working. They get to you, number 30, and maybe they don't really know you, or they were referred to you, but they got your name, and they call you. Thomas, are you available? Let me check my date. Let me check my schedule. Yes, I'm actually available that day. What do you have going on? I've got this. And here's the dates. Here's the rate. I'll put you on hold. Awesome. Number 30, you go on that shoot day, you show up, you do a great job. You're nervous as hell. You're nervous as hell because this is an opportunity, and you know it. And you want to make a good impression. And you're moved a little bit faster than what you would normally do. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to move faster than what you normally do, because you're going to get the opportunity, and you're going to take it. Opportunity before you're really ready. Because usually it's going to take people many years to get that opportunity. But for you, since all of a sudden it's so damn busy and they ran out of people, they're going to give you the opportunity. Yes, this is what's going to happen. And then you do a good job, they move you up to number 6. You were number 20 or number 30. Now you're number 6. Boom, like that. You're going to get called more and more and more. And you're going to be so nervous that whole first year, because you're going to be get thrown in the fire. This is how it's going to happen like this. When it was busy, when I started in commercials, it was pretty damn busy. And because of that, I got thrown in the fire. Because I said yes to everything. I'm so grateful that I did, because that's how I got good. And also, it's part of being a top person to say yes and to figure it out. Okay, make sense? So this is a great opportunity. Now, what has to happen? Okay, now so we actually, you know how with goal setting, you say where you want to be and you kind of work backwards? So that's how we're going to think about it here. For the film industry, how valuable is that? You can't learn this in film school or anywhere. On the internet? No way. Okay, so acting, editor, DP, okay, director, okay, that's the goal. What has to happen in order to get those jobs? You have to make relationships with a lot of people that know you as that, don't you? And when all the work starts happening, they have to know you as that to call you as that, don't you? Don't they? Yeah, right? Okay, so what has to happen for them to know you, to call you like that? They have to have worked with you in another capacity, but think that you're great. That's about all that's happening in their heads. They got to think, oh, I like that person. So it's like, I like that person, they do this job, and I need them, boom, they call you. 3 steps right there. So how do you get them to know you and like you and work with you and go like, oh, I like that person? You don't want to start off on the big stuff. You want to start off on like an interview. That'd be perfect. An interview, because you need to learn the process and get your hands on the equipment. You also need to make your mistakes. So an interview, perfect. How about doing some sports? I'll cover some golf and follow the cameraman around with the cables and help him get what he needs and set up the light. Oh, they're going to do an interview with following the golf. That's perfect. So we start on the small stuff and make our mistakes and learn our stuff. And is this helpful to editors to be able to see how they're shooting stuff and how they're going to cut it together and why the camera? Oh, yeah. Is it helpful to see how the director's thinking and how they're going to cut it together? Yes. Does being on set allow you to learn all the terms so that you know what everybody's talking about? You get in post-production and you know the terms because you've been in production? Ah, you've got a huge advantage. Most people don't know that stuff. My philosophy, wow, it's getting hot out here now, yay. My philosophy is to become more than other people. Take your craft and learn the crafts around it that make you really good at it. Then you can write your ticket. You can talk to people about many more subjects because you know, say you're DP, you know editorial, you know some effects stuff, you know some sound stuff. You can have a conversation with the director at a whole nother level. And the director might know all that stuff as well. So now he's like, oh my God, you're speaking my language, man. You know, you're not the typical person that's just thinking about the picture. You're saying, yeah, but this impacts sound this way, this impacts this way, because the end product is the production being done and being awesome. And most people just know their job. But how you will get jobs will be by becoming more. So if you can be an editor that's been on lots of sets and actually knows the people that hire them as an editor, you know producers and directors, and you understand the production process, oh, you've got such an advantage, don't you? Can you see what I'm talking about? That's how you move to the top. A lot of us are just thinking about, how do I get in? How do I get in? Well, that's short-term or short-sighted thinking. And I just want to introduce to you, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just going to get you a PA job for 10 years. Okay? That's a problem. Lots of people are like, I just want a job. Film school students, I just need to get on set and get on a Netflix film. They get on set, they get hired on a Netflix film. 6 months pass. They meet some people. Then they go on hiatus. Then they get called again. For what they want to do? No. As a production assistant. That's how they're known, is as a production assistant. So now it's been a year that they've been a production assistant. And they really want to direct. They really want to move into camera. They really want to get into sound. They really want to start acting. But people will know them as a production assistant. So then they get called again. Okay, so you are in control of your career. How you approach your career depends on how fast you move in the professional film industry. It's got to be like, you got to approach it not with just wanting to get a job, by being a top person in your craft from the very beginning, because that's actually how you open all these doors and get all of these very good people to have a good impression of you and want to work with you and refer you work. All your work is going to get referred to you. The whole business is a word of mouth business. So you get certain alliances with people that you've met on set because you're on set every single week, and they will refer you work. And they're going to refer you. What kind of work are they going to refer you? Interviews, behind the scenes, social stuff, the small stuff. But $500 a day, $600 a day. But they don't want to do that. They're making $1,000 a day. They're making $2,000 a day. So they don't want to do that non-union work. But that's perfect for you. Still, production assistants are not going to get referred that work, are they? Even if they're a nice person and they went to AFI and they went to NYU and they went to Juilliard, they're really, really good. They've invested in themselves. It's not fair that they're not the ones that are getting that opportunity. But the fact is that in life, once you get out of school, or you don't even need to go to school, in my opinion, because what matters is how you roll in the professional world. That's the whole thing, is how you roll, how you do that job, how you show up, the conversations you have, the way you're thinking, how prepared you are, what your knowledge is, the questions you ask on set so that you're able to expand that knowledge every time you're on set. Because you've got all these different departments around that you can watch. Most people don't even watch. A lot of production assistants, and they're good and they went to film schools, they're on set and they're like, I just want to be a director. They're not paying attention to what is special effects doing? How is VTR working on that? What are we shooting next that we need to get in position, and how can I make things go smoother? Because I care about the production. Not I care about myself. I care about the production. Now, the reason why, I know I'm talking a lot here, but I feel like we're covering some real important things. The reason why we think about ourselves so much, is because we got this big goal. And so this is super counterintuitive. We got this big goal, because I did this mistake. And I would think about myself and where I wanted to go and who I needed to meet. And I'm just constantly like, Janet, me. And everything is like talking to that person, well, what would I say so that they can give me a job? Or how should I say this so that they will remember me and think about me? Bleh. Who wants to be used by Janet that wants to get everywhere? Do you? No. But this is how it comes across, because and it's natural, it's normal to be like, it's all got to be about me because I want to get to these places in my career, and who's going to do it? So it makes sense that you would be so like, I got to be strategic here. But when in fact, it's actually the opposite energy that will get you this amazing career. So if you can get out of and you just catch yourself, you're like, okay, I'm focusing on myself again because I'm trying to get somewhere with my career, but I will actually get so much further with my career if I think about the production, if I think about making that producer look good, if I think about what the director might need and what I might want to be paying attention to what he just said right now or she just said right now that was so brilliant. And it gets you out of yourself, out of your head, and thinking all about what's going on so that you really become a master. Then the conversations, they don't even need to be about like, how can I impress that person? Or how can I say the right things so they remember me? You do your job while being aware of what you're really there for and what everybody's really there for. You're going to be like, you're up here the way you're seeing things. This is how they see things. All the other production assistants and director's assistants and producer's assistants, even people in the departments, they're down here because they're thinking about, how can I get my next job? You're not worried about your next job. You know your next job because you're thinking up here. The way you're thinking, and you are such an asset, and you know it. And then you have that confidence that you don't even need to say much. You walk in the room and people are like, oh, who's that? Are you a producer? And you're like, no, I'm a production assistant. They're like, wow. Okay, cool. And they're going to be like, what? I think that was, shoot. Wow, there's something about that girl. Something about her. And they won't forget that. It's energy. Wouldn't that be nice to have? You develop that. You generate that. You don't just have it. So if you're thinking, oh no, I don't have that right now. Nobody has that. I didn't have that. You just generate it by your awareness and the way that you roll on set.